When it came to building, the Victorians certainly knew what they were doing, and many of these properties were built with basements. Now, I'm about to meet a couple who are going to give their old basement a very new lease of life.
This is the series where we'll be following the journey of homeowners right around the country as they embark on groundbreaking basement conversions and ambitious loft extensions.
I just can't believe that they can do all this to a house and it actually not fall down.
But massive projects like this can challenge anyone.
To say we're upset by this is an understatement.
And when the builders have gone home, will all the stress have been worth it?
I'm not sure what we were imagining when we started out, but it wasn't this.
At the beginning, I didn't think that it's going to be this beautiful.
We're in the Yorkshire city of Sheffield, which is home to IT consultant Mayay and lawyer Martin. They're currently living in this snug two-bedroom terrace, but hope to be moving very soon as they've just bought their first home together. This 5-bedroom Victorian townhouse cost them £265,000, but it's in need of a total refurbishment.
We've never done any building project before, and it's the first house that we've got kind of together, so this is going to be double whammy for us.
And they're taking on a bit more than just a renovation project.
The next step in the relationship would be to get engaged, I suppose. Maybe to have a family at some point and grow into the house.
Martin and Mayay have got big plans for the future, and they've also got big plans for the space underneath their house.
As soon as we'd seen the basement, we knew this house had a lot of potential for us.
They've had a good look around their neighbour's basement, which was converted by the builder they plan to use.
See, I like this.
Yeah.
In the middle.
And this has helped inspire them.
We've got quite a firm idea of what we want. This part here is going to be kind of a seating area. We're going to knock as far as we can. So we're going to have an island in the middle of the kitchen. It's going to be kind of a sociable kitchen diner, isn't it? So we're going to have big doors here. That's going to kind of open out onto a little patio area. Big window, light from that way, light from the big doors there. And then here we're thinking kind of an antique dresser or something just to break it up a bit. I'm really excited. I mean, I can't wait, and I'm planning parties already.
But building projects are rarely straightforward, and they don't know what to expect.
It's the fear of being disappointed at the end, when everything's finished and everything's in there, to kind of not feel like it's what we had in our minds right now.
With this being the potential start of a whole new life together, there's a lot more at stake here than just bricks and mortar.
We are investing a lot of money in this as a project, a lot of time as well. I think if things did start to go wrong, then it would be a disaster for us, really.
So Martin and Mayay are about to take a significant step in their relationship, and they're also now taking on the biggest project of their lives. I want to find out a bit more about their plans.
Hello.
Hello. Come on in.
Thank you very much. So I understand you're looking to convert a basement.
Bought another house. It's a bit of a project,
Right.
I guess.
So somewhere new for both of you to start together in.
Yeah.
The house isn't perfect for us at the moment, but with a little bit of hard work, then I think it will be.
It's funny, people don't want a perfect house.
Yeah.
They're almost disappointed to find a perfect house because you want to make it perfect yourselves.
Yeah.
So what's the big plan for the basement?
It's going to be a big open kitchen diner.
I've got a vision of cooking on an island and looking out onto the dining rooms.
The cooker's going to be on the island.
That's what we're hoping.
That's what we want.
Wow.
So you're facing the table when you're cooking and...
That sounds amazing. So how much are you spending?
We're hoping for about £30,000 on the basement and 10,000 on the kitchen, something like
Are you having a conversation now when you're doing that? That certainly had a question mark at the end of it, not a full stop.
Yeah, we're looking for confirmation on these things, aren't we?
So, how long for this whole project?
6 weeks is what we have been told.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing this on the hoof, aren't you? Literally flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
In a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin and Mayay have a total budget of £40,000, and they estimate that the build cost will be £30,000, leaving them £10,000 for all the fixtures and fittings. They plan to knock down all the partition walls in their basement and create one large open-plan kitchen diner. Double doors from a new patio will create a natural flow from the garden and help fill the room with light. The kitchen will have a country cottage feel, and at the centre there'll be an island where they can cook and prepare food whilst entertaining their guests.
In living elsewhere, Martin and Mayay are in the very fortunate position of not living above a building site. But it also gives the builders themselves opportunity to crack on with the job straight away without any interruptions from the owners. But they're not going to want any interruptions because they've only been given 6 weeks to complete this job. I can't see how they're going to do it.
With such a short time frame for the project, they've chosen AB Basements, a specialist company set up by Andy Tester over 12 years ago. They have to dig out over 20 skips worth of earth and rubble to create the extra head height Martin and Mayay want in their basement. And they've already knocked down some of the dividing walls, which Andy knows can be a dangerous job.
If things wasn't supported properly, the worst case scenario, large cracks opening up in the house, and worse than that, you would have bricks and walls coming down.
It's week 2, and whilst Martin and Mayay aren't actually living on site, they're still going to be closely monitoring the project.
Oh my God,
Wow.
be careful.
Oh my God. Oh,
It's changed a lot, huh?
I know. Is that the widest it can go, do you think?
I don't know.
This is the first time they've seen the space, and the opening between the kitchen and the dining room isn't quite what they'd expected.
If you could get that a bit wider over there,
Yeah.
then it'd make things a bit easier going into the kitchen, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
You know, if you can have an island in the kitchen.
Yeah.
An island here, and you're gonna have to step round it. It's not gonna be
No,
very
you're
good, is
going to be
it?
kind of...
Yeah. Unless they can take this right back to all the way to there.
Yeah, because then you've got a bigger
But I know
gangway there.
if you take too much away from that, a house is going to fall down.
Concerned that the walls might be supporting the weight of the entire house, they decide to talk to Andy, the builder.
We wanted to ask about the opening in the middle,
Right,
to see, is that the widest it can go?
we've got to leave a 2-foot nib from the outside wall to the inside.
Right.
So that's going to be pretty much
Yeah, so
Where-
where
Yeah.
that is.
So we said we'd work to 8 feet. So that is just over 8 feet. So that's
Right.
what it's going to be. It's all been designed by the structural engineer.
They can't make that opening any bigger. But before refusing to give up on the dream of an island kitchen, they've got their kitchen designer Carl Woodall round to see if it's still possible.
We're worrying that if we have the island where it is, we're not going to be able to sort of get through the gap and work around it.
I think it's going to cut a lot of light off
Yeah.
as you come in. From a safety point of view, is it actually going to be a good idea to be able to reach the back of a cooker? I mean, I don't know what your plans are, but with family plans, if you've got kids running around, you don't want your cooker where they can go around,
Right, okay.
round and round. That's how I see it anyway.
So it looks like they might have to give up on their dream after all.
Now we're actually sort of studying the space and speaking to people and actually thinking, is that wide enough really to have an island there and get around it? So
Yeah.
we'd given up on the idea of the island a little bit, and that's the dilemma, is the change of mind, isn't it? Trying to get
Yeah.
our heads around that and what we're
Yeah.
going to do instead.
The building project's now in full swing. And the next stage is to start pumping in concrete. This comes in through what will become their front window and is then spread and levelled by hand to form the basis of their new floor. From here on in, the project will change from demolition to construction.
We're now 4 weeks into Martin and Mayay's 6-week building project. With only 2 weeks remaining, I wonder if they're still feeling quite as optimistic.
Andy and his building team have made great progress. They've built the new patio, installed the steel beams, and with the stairs now ready to go in, the space will quickly start to take shape.
All being well, we're just going to squeeze past that joist just up there.
So if this isn't right, Is there much adjustment you can do yourselves?
No, if these aren't right, it's they're scrapped and it's a new set.
Which is why you were saying all being well.
With the stairs costing over £700, it would be an expensive mistake if they didn't fit. But luckily, it looks like Andy's measurements were spot on.
Well, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
Well, although the basement's taking shape, their schedule was always a little optimistic, and they're currently 2 weeks behind. So I wanted to check in with Mayay.
When was the last time you went down into the basement?
Probably about this time last week.
Lead the way, let us know what you think. Could be a leap of faith. You mind your step.
Okay.
And that wire.
And the wire. Oh, God.
What do you think?
Wow.
So, look, show me exactly what your plans are for the kitchen, because I think that might have changed slightly, has it?
It has, yeah.
Because the island was going to be here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. That was the idea originally, because we wanted the cooker to be part of the island.
So this must be a bit of a shame for you guys, because you've had to sacrifice that now because of this wall.
Yeah. I don't know. We weren't too happy to begin with, because that was in our mind from the start.
How many more weeks to go?
We're hoping about 4 weeks.
4 weeks is a struggle, isn't it?
Fingers crossed it's going to speed up.
Speed up?
Well...
Somebody tells me things will slow down.
The kitchen guy says he can have it done in a day.
Well, if he says that, who am I to quibble?
We just want to move in.
Yeah, I know you do. I've been pretty impressed with Martin and Maymay's approach to this project. In being flexible and getting rid of the central island in the kitchen, which, let's face it, was really close to Maymay's heart, they've been able to move on, which, with the timescales now clearly out of the window, should at least give them a chance of coming in on budget.
6 months ago, Martin and Mayay bought their first house together, and they've embarked on an ambitious project to convert their basement.
I'm really excited. I mean, I can't wait. I'm planning parties already.
But building their first family home together is a big step, and the stakes are high.
We are investing a lot of money in this. If things did start to go wrong, then it would be a disaster for us, really.
Creating a living space underground throws up all sorts of challenges, the biggest of which is combating damp. Andy the builder is using an innovative technique called waterproof tanking here at Martin and Maymay's.
So, Andy, you mentioned basements to a lot of people, and instantly they think of damp and how they're going to protect themselves from it. So, talk me through this tanking.
Any water that penetrates through the walls will run down the back of the tanking.
Yeah.
And it will run down into a channel system, which runs around all the perimeter of the basement.
Yeah.
And then it will go out underneath the doors.
Can we go and take a look?
Yeah, have a look, yeah.
The water collects in a chamber outside, then a pump sends it to the drain.
So for once, instead of just trying to keep this damp out, we're embracing it, getting it to a definite area, and then pumping it elsewhere.
Yeah, directing the water.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, yeah, directing the water as opposed to just fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
So Andy's happy. What about Martin and Mayay?
Are you still as excited as you were at the start of this?
Yeah, definitely. More and more, I think.
Yeah.
Just seeing it kind of coming together.
Hopefully soon you'll be inside there cooking on your new cooker then.
Yeah.
In your new kitchen.
Yeah.
And where will you be?
In the pub.
In the... I was hoping you'd say maybe preparing the steaks out in the
That
bar.
was the wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Now, it's not unusual for building projects to throw up all kinds of issues and sometimes disagreements. But if you've been inspired by what you've seen and would like more information on how you could convert your basement, then all you have to do is visit our website.
Martin and Mayay decided not to skimp on the kitchen, and today all the bespoke units are being fitted. It's pushing their 10 grand fixtures and fittings budget skywards, so we'll see how their final costs come in. Meanwhile, they've set a date for moving in.
We wanted to move everything over that we can tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, collapse.
Might be a little bit like camping for a while, I guess.
It might be. As long as we've got a bottle of champagne and a piece, we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
For Andy, it's the culmination of weeks of hard work, and he's crossing his fingers that everything comes together in time.
They want to get in and they want to start enjoying what they've got and what they spent all their money on as well. Hopefully they'll be pleased with what we've done.
After all the weeks of planning and effort from Andy and his team, their basement is nearly ready. But will it live up to Martin and Maymay's expectations?
Well, apart from the lack of building equipment and the skip that was parked outside, Martin and Maymay's house looks exactly as it did when they started this project. But that's because all the work has taken place underground. And I can't wait to see how it's turned out. Here he is, Martin, how are you?
I'm very good, how are you?
Pretty good, thanks. A bit cold. Hi, Maymay, how are you? Nice to see you. Now, I can't wait to see it. Let's go straight away, shall we? Good, get out the cold.
Here we are.
I tell you what, the first thing you notice, wow, just how bright it is. This is supposed to be a basement.
Yeah, doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't look like it either, does it?
It feels like, you know, a lower ground floor. You've got plenty of natural light coming in, and that's the big thing about this place, isn't it?
It is.
It's interesting the style I've seen you adopt as well, because it's obviously contemporary, but it feels very homely down here.
Yeah, well, Martin was going to go for the modern look originally.
Well, I thought you would, yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to do. But I'm really glad we've done it this way because, like you say, it just feels a lot more cosy and a bit more homely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, it just looks great. And round here is the kitchen that we talked about.
Yeah.
This room looks a lot bigger than I expected it to look. How's that possible?
Yeah, we were really surprised because we thought with the walls coming in, then the kitchen furniture as well, it was going to feel a lot smaller, but it doesn't feel at all.
We're just surprised at how big it actually feels when you're down here.
And how tall it is.
And how tall it is gives that feel of space as well, because you've got so much head height. Like you say, plenty of room.
It's massive. Have you ever used 6 hobs at any one time? Have you?
Yeah.
That's got to be a roast.
Big curry night, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I also seem to remember there was a compromise you had to make.
Originally we were going to have an island, but if we had have done it, would have been kind of, you'd have to walk round it and it would just be in the way, so.
But you must be chuffed to bits with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Love the kitchen, don't we?
Yeah, it's my favourite place, I think.
Well, the kitchen's probably the most expensive place and probably the most amount of thought and compromise has gone into it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What about outside? Have a look?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Good. Oh, they're posh doors, aren't they?
Yeah, smart, aren't they?
God, this is lovely, isn't it? This is really nice.
The sun comes through here and it's there until the evening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything feels authentic throughout the whole of this project, doesn't it? Even these stones.
Yeah.
Did you have to go far for these?
These are what they pulled up from in the cellar, so they just reused them outside, yeah.
Oh, what a great idea.
It's really good.
I love it, I really do like it. Now, tell you what, let's talk about the overall budget.
Yeah.
Back inside in the warm, shall we?
Okay, yeah. Let's do it.
I'll shut these doors behind us.
Thank you.
Let's hope they work easy. Oh, they are quite easy to use, aren't they?
In just 8 weeks, Martin and Maymay have completely transformed their basement from a grotty and damp hole. They recognise the huge potential of the area underneath their house and have turned it into a stunning open-plan kitchen diner. They knocked down walls and started again from scratch to make a beautifully warm living space. They've made it their own and have created a sanctuary they can enjoy for many years to come.
I suppose the ultimate question really is budget. Overall, it was £40,000. How are we doing with that?
Well, I'd say about another 10,000 over.
Yeah, I thought that.
Right, that's an extra 25% over budget.
Yeah.
Does that mean we're not eating for the next couple of years, or...?
Luckily, no.
Good job.
Yeah. Even though we spent more money than we thought it would, I would say it's the best decision we've made about the house. It suddenly turned it into a house that a family could live in, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, all's well that ends well, really, isn't it? You have a beautifully presented family home. Just one thing missing, isn't there? Good luck, and I hope you enjoy this wonderful space that you created.
Thank you.
Love it.
Martin and Mayay are clearly thrilled with their basement conversion. And it's now the perfect place for entertaining.
I'm Johnny. Hello, everyone.
So they've invited family and friends around to celebrate.
I mean, it's just wonderful. The transformation is great.
They've achieved more than they could have hoped for, really.
When Martin and Mayay bought this house around 6 months ago, it was a big commitment for them. Not only would it test their ability to manage a major building project, but in moving into their first home together, it was a huge step forward in their relationship. Now, not only have they converted this basement into an incredible kitchen diner, but in doing so, they've transformed this house into a truly stunning family home that I hope they'll enjoy for years to come.